King's Gambit. It is a very good opening, and in fact, it is a very old opening. Discovered or played first, from what we know, in the game of 1560, where Ruy Lopez actually played it. He's like a famous person in the chess community. So from 1560, this opening dominates still today. It is a very good opening to play with white. In fact, yes. And what this opening does is it focuses on aggressive attack, getting the center. That's the whole main idea of the opening. Grabbing the center, but then you will have to sacrifice a pawn. Eventually, you will probably get that pawn back, but let me show you how it goes. So the King's Gambit starts with an e4, e5, and now you will surprise your opponent. Like, very surprise your opponent with the move pawn f4. This move gives up a pawn, so obviously they take it, and of course, what's the point of this move, you may think? They would easily take this pawn, and that is going to be our first variation. This is King's Gambit accepted. I know that Elo bar shows it's 0.3, but trust me, it's not. Now, the whole point, as I said earlier, of this opening is to grab the center, but we have the center, right? But we forgot a little nuance, because now black will have and by doing this we also attack the pawn, but black now can go here, and now this will not be comfortable for us, because if we take this, now this is just looking for disasters, and we can't really do anything against it. The best thing you can do is probably this, and this does not look good. This does not look good for anyone. I mean, for white, this does not look good. So we have to prevent that. So you can't go here right away. You can't. The first thing you always have to do in the King's Gambit, no matter when or who or where you're playing, you have to do the King's Knight Gambit, which is basically moving your knight from here to here, because now you may notice that they can't go here, or else you'll just take them. So now what can they do? Let's start with the first variation. They can go here. This is the scallop defense, and it is bad. It is bad for the reason that your pawn can go up here, and now black, he may go here. Now you attack him. Now he'll go back here. Now his knight has a terrible position. We're up by 0.89. And now you're going to go here. This knight is pinned. You're attacking the pawn. You have the center. His pawn is in a very bad position. He has nothing else developed. You're looking to go here and then later castle on the short side, completely demolishing this diagonal. So this completely wins. Or at least in my opinion, that completely wins. Let's look at another variation. Let's look first of all at the most common variation. So one of the most common variations to this is probably going to be here. So this challenges your pawn, right? Because they don't want you to get the center. And what are you going to do about it? What you're going to do is, you're not going to push the pawn. You're not going to do any of that fancy stuff. You're just going to protect the pawn. Now, after they take it, you take it, and you have a pretty nice position here so far. They'll start making developing moves, and now this is where you can get the center. Now, a very common move here is, you see this? Yes. This is a move that happens almost every time in like the 3 or 4 variations that I'll be showing you. And now you're going to do a kind of weird move because you just expect like to go here, or maybe attack this knight, or maybe even come up with something. But this is the move that you're going to make. This seems like, why would you be doing this? Why would you be doing this? And after they go here and challenge your knight, they forgot something really important. Because now you can take the knight, and guess what? It's a double check. And it's also a checkmate. The king is covered from both directions because you can't take the knight, or you can't take the queen in any way. They're both delivering a check at the same time, so that's called double check. And let's say that your opponent does not do that. Let's say your opponent is smart enough. If your opponent is pretty smart, then I'd just take this pawn right here. They'll take, let's say they'll take, then you take. Our king is for some reason not castled yet, but you can pin this knight. You can take it. You can do a lot of things in this opening. And then it's better to short castle in this opening, let me tell you one thing, because you're going to eventually create a battery. And if your bishop was here, which mine isn't at this point of the game, but this would be a triple attack on the f-file. And let's say they just want a castle. You need to dominate this side of the board, the king side. You need to dominate it in this opening. So castle, they'll castle, right? Now let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1, 2, 3. So you can take this now. This is absolutely going to demolish his position. Now look at this. You're up a pawn. His pawn structure is completely demolished. You're going to take all his pawns. You're going to trap his rook. And now you're just going to go out there and win the game. Simple, right? I'll show you one variation. I'll be kind today. I'll show you one more variation. Let's go all the way back. All the way back. Okay. Now, what if they go here? This is one of the more experienced person moves that they will do. Because what they're looking to do, you can see first of all that of course you can't take this pawn because it is protected by the queen. And they're looking to go here and chase your knight away. Therefore, winning the game. Now, what you do here is, because you're attacking this, right? You can't just obviously like go here because then they'll push. But what you'll do is, first of all, you'll go here. This attacks this pawn. This attacks the pawn. Now, if they go here, right? Now you can go here, so you're attacking this pawn. Already attacking this pawn. Don't pay attention to this. You're attacking this pawn. And you can find a way to win here. The moves that I'm showing you are not the ones that you should specifically do. But they're just to give you the idea of the opening. That's not the moves that I'd actually play, but I'm just giving you examples, and giving you variations for what you would want to play. So let's recap. What you want to do is first control the center. You want to do one move that is very, very important, is going here, so then the queen doesn't go there. Then you want to have an attack on this file, on this pawn specifically. So you put your queen, you put your rook, you put your bishop all aimed on that pawn. You can even find a way to put your knight to aim on that pawn, somehow like that. But yeah, those are the basic ideas. And like I said again, you don't have to follow the moves that I did because they're not the best moves, obviously. But my point of this video was to just give you the general idea of the opening and what you should do in some specific variations. But if you're like a nice, experienced chess player, you should figure it out. And if you're not, then you don't need to memorize moves or anything. You just get the basic idea. Move towards the center and attack this pawn. Those are the main two ideas. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please like and subscribe, and goodbye.